Thanks for tuning in to The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And a big thanks to Atomos for sponsoring The Ordinary Filmmaker. I'm using the Ninja 5 external recorder for all my studio work as it saves me a ton of time in post. Want to speed up your projects in post? Then use my links down below to purchase your own Ninja and help support this channel. And now for the review. I've had experience with the ATEM Mini and the LiveView Pro. I've hosted live streams with nothing more than my laptop and a FaceTime camera, but when I heard about the Yolo Box, my attention was piqued. The ability to live stream from anywhere at any time, so long as I had a cell signal, to be completely mobile. I was excited at the prospect, so when Yolo reached out to me asking if I'd demonstrate the Yolo, I said yes. Yolo didn't tell me what to say, ask for a copy of the review before I published it, and I do get to keep the Yolo Box after this review is complete. The Yolo Box is small and lightweight. It's compact and about the same size as the Ninja 5. The Yolo Box does have an internal battery that can deliver up to about 3 hours of broadcast time, although this time can be extended by using a battery pack. Now this is really perfect for when you're broadcasting away from the grid. A carrying case is supplied along with a USB-C cable to charge the Yolo Box. You'll also need to supply your own HDMI cable. I bought this one cheap off Amazon and it works really well, and it's the same one that I use for my Ninja 5. Now, if you have a Canon R5 like I do, the supplied cable organizer, well, it's more than a cable organizer. It's designed to help you prevent from damaging your R5, or Canon wouldn't have included it. That mini HDMI, I really just don't like it, so make sure you do use that, because if you trip over this, you probably damage your R5. Now, if you do have another R system camera, whether it's an R5, R6, or EOS R, you're going to want to make sure you purchase an HDMI pass-through or splitter. This one isn't currently supplied, and the reason for this is there's a hardware limitation due to the HDCP protocol. I'm not going to go into the details, but suffice it to say, if you don't have one, you're not going to be able to get a usable signal. I use this simple $24 adapter, and I'm not having any problems whatsoever. On the bottom of the Yolo Box is an SD card slot, a SIM card slot for broadcasting off cellular, power button, audio out port, and a 1/4 inch mount to rig up your Yolo. The top, it includes 2 HDMI ports allowing you to connect 2 mirrorless cameras, and a USB port for a third camera. It also includes an HDMI out port. It has a full-size Ethernet port. I use the audio in port, but prefer jacking my mics directly into the camera. And there's a USB-C port that I use for charging. The Yolo Box is an all-in-one unit. It has a large 7-inch screen, and while it has a power port, there's really no need for an external power source, as it has an internal battery for remote use. It also has a built-in audio mixer, which is really handy for adjusting audio levels, especially if you have multiple cameras. You can choose which camera audio you want to pick or use an external audio source. And these features together really help make the Yolo, well, it's mobile, allowing you to broadcast from anywhere where there's a cell signal at any time and from any device. Think about that. Not being tethered to a studio or a power adapter or even to a network cable. Being able to go anywhere where your content takes you and broadcast live on location. I just wish it was weather resistant. This is where the Yolo Box beats the competition. It has an internal battery giving you up to 3 hours of use, and it can stream using Ethernet, using Wi-Fi, and can even stream over cellular using a SIM card. Believe it or not, I did 5 takes and I still couldn't say cellular, except for just there. So it does, so let me recap. You can stream using Ethernet, using Wi-Fi, or you can stream over cellular using a SIM card, although you will need a 5G or LTE connection at minimum. When I was testing out here a couple of weeks ago in my backyard, I had a pretty good signal. I started shooting, and I was doing well at 3,200 kilobits per second. However, a few minutes later, I was down to 1,000, and I started dropping frames like crazy. Now, the one good thing about broadcasting with Yolo is, while your video might start skipping, your audio is going to come through loud and clear each time. You're not going to drop frames, so I really love how they've taken care of that. Anyhow, back to the Yolo. The Yolo Box capabilities don't end there. It comes with a title generator to allow you to add your own titles as needed. You can also add a graphic overlay or even broadcast pre-recorded video that's saved on the SD card. I use this feature to store my logo at the beginning of each broadcast, and I would display it when I started the live stream, so I found that very handy. Take all these capabilities, the lightweight, compact design, and your mobile. Imagine being able to live stream from anywhere you want with just a simple device attached to your camera. Being compact, I'm able to fit everything I need into a standard camera bag along with the Yolo and the camera. You can even run and gun with this setup. The LED screen is well built, it's sensitive to your touch, much like a smartphone, a modern smartphone like the iPhone 12. And it has a very good viewing angle without suffering from much glare. But it does need some sort of hood, as it has about 300 nits brightness. If you're shooting outside like I am here, you're definitely going to need some sort of hood so you can properly see the screen. You're provided with 2 HDMI inputs and a USB input, allowing you to connect up to 3 cameras. Now, while the Yolo Box has fewer HDMI inputs than the ATM Mini, it does come with that internal battery and a SIM card, and it supports live streaming over cellular, although I do recommend having a 5G or LTE cellular signal. Otherwise, 4G might prove a little bit difficult if you're trying to accomplish 1080p broadcasting. You can become your very own investigative reporter, streaming live to Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. And you can also record directly to the SD card, which is very handy when you're going deep into the hinterland where there isn't any signal or service is spotty at best. Anyone can live stream using a built-in webcam and free software like OBS, but very few packages allow you to stream remotely on location over cellular and Wi-Fi with no more than your camera and the Yolo Box attached to the hot shoe. So how's the video quality, you ask? Well, here's a clip that I shot a couple of weeks ago at 1080, and you can see it's pretty sharp. And this is a clip I shot at 720. Both were shot on the Canon EOS R5, and I'm pretty impressed with the results. However, for areas where network bandwidth is limited or you're in a congested area, you might want to consider streaming at 540 or 480, depending on whether you're on PAL or not. Now, having the options for 720 and 480 or 540 really helps provide underserviced areas with access to live streaming. At first, $899 seems expensive. After all, the ATM Mini is $595 and the Live Pro L1 is $299. But then again, there's the Sling Studio mobile production kit, which is $1,745. Now, the market's full of live stream options. There really are a lot out there, but most options require adapters, monitors, or other accessories to get you fully up and running. Now, eliminate those options that provide you with remote streaming, and the market becomes a very lonely place with only the Yolo Box there at under $1,000. Let's take a closer look at the competition. The ATM Mini Pro is the market leader in live streaming with its 4 video inputs, but it's not mobile ready. It's a solid product for studio work. It's simply not mobile ready like the Yolo Box is. And the Sling Studio isn't mobile in its base configuration. To get it mobile ready, you're going to have to spend $1,745, and that's over Wi-Fi, not cellular, so it's not truly remote. Now, of course, using your phone or some other device, you can use a hotspot on it, but now you're passing through another device. No mixer, no computer, no video capture cards, just your camera, the Yolo Box, and a few cables. Now, the simplicity of the Yolo and its price and ease of use make recommending the Yolo Box for multiple scenarios a pretty easy thing. If you're often recording on location and bringing your work back to the studio to do some work before you can publish it, well, Yolo Live allows you to be able to stream on location without the delay of having to take it back and the effort to do post-production work. Now, whether you're reporting on local community events or live streaming a major celestial event like the convergence of Jupiter and Saturn, or covering a local baseball game or live event, setup and broadcast is simple with the Yolo and cheaper than the competition. It really is liberating. Just make sure that you have the right data plan and that you have at least a 5G or solid LTE connection if you're going to attempt to broadcast in 1080. Delivering instructional content one-to-one or one-to-many can be accomplished over Ethernet or Wi-Fi or over cellular occasionally. Now, 3 hours of battery life is good for occasional remote meetings, but I recommend plugging directly into the wall for uninterrupted streaming if you are going to be in a facility. It's just, you're going to reduce the risk of drop frames or anything like that. COVID has driven many faith-based organizations to deliver their message remotely over the internet for hours at a time. Connecting up to 3 cameras provides the audience with an immersive experience and gives you what you need to, in an all-in-one solution, to broadcast your faith-based event. Now, while many of us have high-speed bandwidth up to 1 gigabit or more, many around the world are still challenged with trying to maintain or sustain 1 or 3 megabits. The ability to broadcast at 480 or 540 allows service to those underserviced areas, and I think that's a really big deal. Yes, me broadcasting in 480 probably wouldn't be well received, but for many of those communities around the world that are underserviced, it's a pretty big deal. The Yolo Box isn't without its issues. If you do own a Canon R system camera, you are going to have to purchase that HDMI pass-through, but at around $25, it's not that big of a deal. But one other issue I did notice last Friday when I was setting up my live stream is I couldn't get it to function properly. It was very slow and sluggish, taking anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds to recognize user input. Couldn't figure out what was wrong. Well, my camera was still set to record at 4K, so it was passing 4K information to the Yolo, and unlike the Live View L Pro or L Pro L1, the Yolo is a bit of an overachiever and it tried to process that 4K, of course slowing things down. So once I set it back to full HD 1080, everything was fine, but it of course had me a little bit razzled and it took me a while to calm down, but nothing is perfect. I passed this on to the company so that they can make a change in firmware, and it might just be as simple as blacking out the screen and not taking a signal at 4K, reminding us, let's check the camera. The Yolo Box is a product that's arrived when many of us are struggling to communicate with our audience, our stakeholders, and our community. Now, the Yolo Box lives up to its promises. It allows you to stream content, live stream content from anywhere at any time through any camera. It's compact, it's lightweight, and it fits into the camera's hot shoe mount. It has a title generator, which is really awesome. It allows you to provide graphic overlays, and it allows you to stream pre-recorded videos. The touchscreen is of high quality. It's a LED screen. It's the same type that you would find in a modern smartphone. It has a large viewing angle and the same touch sensitivity. Now, the video quality ranges from detailed 1080 to the not so detailed 480. And most importantly, once it was activated, setup was easy and I was able to go within about 30 seconds. If you want to live stream content in studio or live on location, I highly recommend the Yolo Box. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128GB AV Pro MK2 V90 SD cards along with a dual SD card reader. Or you could also win a Ulanzi LED light package with accent lights, an underwater light, and various other flat panel lights to help light your subject, or as a great starter kit for someone starting their own channel. Or you could also help support me on The Ordinary Filmmaker if you want to purchase through my affiliate links down below to Amazon and B&H, or purchase an Ordinary Filmmaker baseball cap for $34.99 at ordinaryfilmmaker.com. Thanks again. We'll see you again soon.